Gentlemen, the higher education of women. There are some women who choose to overlook their natural maternal instincts in favor of academia. Literary women, scientists, blue stocking. But the matter of fact is this. Women cannot dispense with the physiological limitations of their sex, however hard they may try.
Oi, oi!
We have a finite amount of energy. A man who has toiled the field all day hasn't the capacity for mental taxation. Likewise, a woman who expends her energy in exercising the brain does so at the expense of her vital organs. Women's nerve centers are fragile. Pressure may weaken them, leaving them unfit for motherhood. In short, the higher education of women may be detrimental to their psychology, to the family, to the future of our society.
Hear, hear.
Gentlemen, degrees for women.
Degrees for women.
It's a dangerous idea.
What an idea.
It may be a pity for women that they are born women, but in running the intellectual race, it is highly unlikely they will succeed. Let's even try.
Ladies. Welcome to Curtin.
Before we use first names.
Why? We're all going to be holed up together, aren't we? Might as well start as we mean to go on. Carolyn.
I'm Tess.
All right, Celia.
Me. Sullivan. Charmed. Celia rescued me yesterday. Found me wedged halfway between the ceiling and my gargantuan trunk. You know, spiral staircases just aren't made for the women of the world. Achilles almost had a fit.
Who's Achilles?
He's my traveling companion. He's Greek. He's a wolfhound. He's dozing off in my bed now, don't worry.
You know we're not allowed pets if Miss Welsh finds out.
She won't.
But honestly, if
Ladies, morning. My good wife will be thrilled that her spare pantaloons are serving the cause of scientific endeavor. Shall we begin?
Mr. Banks, may I ask why we're wearing bloomers?
Underwear?
Follow me. You can do without those books for a start.
But we need them.
You want to study the world, don't you? Not print on paper. Why do leaves change color? Why, when I step in, do I not float on with the air there?
Because you're not a fairy.
No.
Because of gravitational force.
Welcome back, Wilbur. So, do fairies exist?
Of course not.
Are you sure?
Perfectly sure.
But can you prove it? What's the evidence? Judge a man by his questions, not by his answers.
Rousseau?
Right country, wrong man.
Napoleon?
No.
Pierre Gaston, Paris 1808.
Name?
Miss Sullivan, sir.
To question is the hallmark of any worthy philosopher. The fool doth thinks that he's wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool. Shakespeare, The Taming of the Shrew.
Sir, it's as you like it. It's touchstone.
Yeah, Act 5, Scene 1.
Slow, but correct. Now, you are about to experience a miracle of modern engineering. Wait there.
What's he doing?
Apparently he's an eccentric.
An eccentric, how do you know?
My friend Will said he's at King's.
King's a scholar?
Oh,
Are
you
you
know, we're just friends.
What in God's name?
Oh Lord, a bicycle!
I hope he doesn't expect us to sit on it.
A marvel, a miracle of modern engineering. Have a look. Come on, come on. Now, what is this?
The wheel, of course.
It's not merely a wheel, miss.
Addison, Carolyn.
It's the life source. Without wheels, it's just a cumbersome chair, but with them, you can glide. The Mesopotamians invented the wheel to help them in battle.
They didn't ride on bicycles.
No, they used chariots. Now you, miss.
Miss Moffat, sir.
On you get!
I couldn't possibly.
I thought you wanted to be a scientist.
Go on, Tess.
Go on.
All right, turn around, please.
As you wish.
How do I get on?
Just sling your leg over.
Girls don't sling.
Here, we'll help you.
Whoa! Don't look, for Christ's sake!
Sorry.
All right, you can turn around now.
Now, observe the demonstration of Isaac Newton's first law, which is
Inertia.
But I'm not doing anything.
that's the first law of motion, that an object will continue on its state of rest, known as
Inertia.
inertia, or its constant speed until it's affected by an outside force. In other words, Miss Muffet is not going anywhere until she applies some energy. If you could oblige.
How?
Place your feet on the pedal, go on, then exert yourself.
Sir, I don't think it's ladylike to exert yourself.
Ladies, you're not ladies now, Muffet, you're scientists.
Yes, sir.
Now observe how the wheel rotates, a sublime demonstration of Isaac Newton's second law, which is Sullivan.
The acceleration of an object is directly proportional to the net force acting upon it.
And the forces.
The product of mass and acceleration.
So the harder she pedals,
The greater the force.
And the quicker she accelerates.
now if she were to ride to a midsummer common, she takes quarter of an hour, provided she's not distracted by the cows or the roars.
Sir!
How far is it?
2 miles.
Slimy.
1 mile every 7.5 minutes.
8 miles an hour.
Woo!
Now Muffet, you're off, and with the grasp of basic laws of motion, you can predict the movement of any object through space, from the rotation of the wheels to the trajectory of the planets. It's tremendous! Go on, faster, faster! How does it feel?
Flying!
Whoa, whoa.
Tess,
Magnificent.
right there, I saw it plain as day, I swear to God.
I don't believe in
I
God.
know what I saw.
Bennett.
Fellas,
Mayhew. You'll never believe what Edward says he saw.
you saw it too? A woman on a bicycle
Riding a pup, thank you.
with a leg on each side.
Sitting astride.
Jesus, here?
In Cambridge.
I thought they weren't allowed to.
They're not.
She was going at quite a lick, actually.
Well, how are you feeling? Full of the joys of youth?
Yes, ma'am.
Happy to be here?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
Sorry, ma'am.
Why does the being here in my class make you happy?
I've not studied moral science before.
So, happiness is knowledge, is it? Who said that?
Socrates.
How do you know that?
Athens.
Yep, a Greek restaurant inscribed on the plate on the wall.
Maybe we should aim for a little bit more detail. So, is Socrates right? Is happiness knowledge? And if so, why are Gurdon's doors being trampled down by women, desperate for a piece of it? Miss Moffat,
Ma'am.
come on, convince us. Convince this parliament that learning is your lifeblood.
You want my opinion?
Well, I've heard you can ride a bicycle, so what's stopping you?
All right. Well,
Hesitation.
knowledge is the wing wherewith we fly to heaven. Shakespeare.
Too slow. I was bored. Members of Parliament are supposed to be quick thinkers. Somebody else.
A monk once told me,
Here we go.
in Shanghai, I was told he who knows himself is happy. Lao Tzu.
And do you know yourself?
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
not very sure you are.
Ma'am, Francis Bacon said happiness is power.
Well, if that's true, then Queen Victoria should be the happiest woman in England.
She's hardly a ray of sunshine.
Not with a dress sense like that.
Valid point.
Ma'am, the only thing that made Victoria happy was love.
Love. Of course, happiness is love. Is it? But what if you had to choose between love and knowledge? What would you choose? A doting husband or a life of intellectual fire where you're perfectly alone? Go on. Miss Moffat.
I wouldn't want to choose.
Well, I had to. Go on. Choose.
I don't think I could.
Most women would choose a home life with a family.
But you're not most women.
No, and it wouldn't be enough. Sitting around arranging flowers if you don't know anything about the flower, the miracle of its growth, or why it exists. Ma'am, what if happiness is a simple life? Country air, orchards, Scotch broth?
How could an orchard make you happy?
I mean, it would if you were Isaac Newton. Miss Wilbont, you're a cynic.
I'm not, ma'am.
Don't be insulted. It's a valuable philosophical position. Diogenes was the first. He believed in a life lived according to nature, and he lived by his words, preaching to passers-by from a bathtub on the streets of Athens.
With no clothes on?
But he didn't believe in material things.
But it's not true, is it?
What is?
The simple life. It's just sentimental puff sense to make lower class people feel better.
You can't say that.
Oh, come on! Happiness is based on who you are and what you have. No one wants to live like some factory worker back in the backwaters out in some slums. You know nothing about it.
Miss Sullivan?
You know nothing about it. We are scientists, aren't we? We're trying to be scientists. Give us a bucket of water and we'll work out the laws of gravity. And that costs nothing. And that is happiness. The mind, like its creator, is free. John Clare.
Well, Miss Addison.
All right.
You know, you're leagues behind the men.
You've got years of schooling on us.
But you're bright, and you're here. We're campaigning to win you the right to graduate. There's to be a vote. A vote? If Mrs. Welsh can persuade the Senate, yes. You know, they say that you do not have the capacity to be scholars, so read everything. Learn everything, know your philosophers, and then think for yourselves. For Wednesday, I want 3,000 words on the comparative merits of Kant's categorical imperative versus pluralistic deontology, and 3,000 on an alternative theory.
Whose theory, ma'am?
Write your own. Now, get to the library. You know, the men, they won't marry you if you choose knowledge. And I won't lecture you if you don't.
You can see the bones in her hand, plain as day.
The rings and the bones, but not an ounce of flesh.
Extraordinary.
They're calling them X-rays until they think of a proper name.
Well, let me see then.
Come on, Edwards.
I haven't got them.
Has.
You're hiding them. He's gonna claim it's his discovery.
Hand them over.
I told you, I haven't got them.
Right, search your legs. You
Down
take-
trousers.
Get the trousers off.
Get off me! Get off me! There's girls coming! Look!
Well, well.
Petticoats to set.
So this is the future?
I give them about a week.
I rather like them. Me. To study.
I dare you.
Get down at the front.
Speak to him.
Me?
Yeah, go on, Edwards.
He'll be here any minute.
So crack on, old chap. 10 guineas.
30 guineas. You're in debt, Edwards. You know you need it.
I can't and I won't. It's not proper.
30 guineas, Edwards. That's halfway to a stay in Paris. Imagine what Maudie would say to that.
She wouldn't say anything. It's not gonna happen.
Come on, Edwards.
All right, you're on. Hello. Good day. I just saw your friend over there, and she's breathtaking. Would you mind?
Sir, may I help you?
Oh God, she's coming over. What's her name? Miss Bond. Thank you, Miss Moffat.
Are you causing a disturbance? Sir?
No, sir. Ma'am. Miss Bond.
Come on, Edwards.
I was just surprised, delighted to see you. This is science, but did you knit that yourself? Oh, hell. How dare you! I'm sorry, ma'am!
Don't worry, Edwards. Someone with fine verbal incompetence. Quite attractive.
Ladies, gentlemen, what a day! I haven't slept away. Rarely have our halls been graced by a man of such an international renown. Professor Maudslay's at the forefront of psychiatric thinking. I've been trying to tempt him here for an age. He's kind with Darwin, for Christ's sake. They're even naming a hospital around him. So please, be excellent. He was proud. Oh, you're most welcome, Lord.
So I'm told you're the best students in the world. Is that so?
Yes.
Let's not waste any time, gentlemen. We'll move straight to the crux of the matter. A subject of much current debate, the puzzling conundrum of hysteria. Hysteria meaning?
Yeah. Lloyd, sir. A condition of unimaginable emotional excess.
That is correct, from the Greek.
Hysterios, meaning uterus.
Indeed, a term originally coined by Hippocrates. The Hippocratic corpus was previously believed to be what, gentlemen?
Holmes, sir. A variety of conditions, including Heracles' disease, thought to be caused by the journey of the uterus around the body in the search of vital bodily fluids.
The wandering womb. Yes, symptoms?
Paresthesia, muteness,
And?
paralysis,
And?
even suffocation if it reaches the throat.
And the remedy?
Pregnancy, sir. To encourage the hysteric's uterus to go back to its correct location.
Precisely. Now, a contemporary theory.
You.
Edward, sir. Hysteria is a sexual dysfunction which can be caused by, which can be treated by stimulation, such as the application of water sprays or insertion of vibrating anatomical devices. What have I just said?
Let's abandon the fanciful speculations of the Europeans and instead turn our attention to the more progressive theories. Anyone? Come on, gentlemen. No one?
Sir, in your thesis, you write that hysteria is brought on by weak morality, mind, or will. That any woman is susceptible.
I do indeed. And that leads to maladies such as?
Mania.
Yes.
Lunacy.
Yes.
Paroxysm.
Yes.
Feminism.
But sir, I believe Charcot says hysteria is caused by specific biological weaknesses, not by a woman's lack of moral judgment at all, that it's hereditary.
Indeed he does. But I invite you to stand, miss.
Moffat, sir?
I'm not asking your name. I'm not interested in your name. Are you contradicting me in my own lecture?
No.
Are you suggesting that these Europeans are superior to my colleagues and I?
No, sir.
Are you an expert?
No, but sir, these scientists.
These are not scientists, these are fantasists. Miss, why are you here? This is a lecture hall, not a laundry.
Sir!
Gentlemen, it has been proven time and time again that hysteria results from a state of emotional agitation commonly observed in the female.
But there's no evidence to
A
prove that
woman
women
becomes
alone are
agitated as she
susceptible to
relishes the
hysteria.
control
Merely an
of her
observation. I'm not
emotions.
agitated because I'm a woman. I'm
The
agitated
temperature
because you won't
rises,
consider an
the
alternative
nerves-
scientifically proven phenomenon. What about Freud?
The temperature rises, the nerves destabilize, the woman begins to hyperventilate, leading to a perfect example of hysterical agitation, gentlemen, leading to mania.
Why won't you acknowledge other people's theories?
I do. Why won't you comprehend that the male organization is one and the female quite the other? You seem to think that it's merely an affair of blows.
That's not what I'm saying.
Don't you contradict me, miss. All you've demonstrated in your base and misguided outbursts is that your sex has no capacity to control your emotional functions. Get out.
What?
Out! And don't even think about coming back to a lecture of mine. There comes a time during a woman's pubic development where she will expend tremendous energies in the reoccurring demands of menstruation. Can she bear mental drain in addition to these physical demands? The overexertion of a woman's brain at the expense of her other vital organs may lead to atrophy, mania, or even worse, may leave her incapacitated as a mother. These, sirs, are not options. They are facts of nature, proven by science. I should throw the whole lot of you out.
Tess, are you all right? What do you think? What were you doing? I've never been spoken to like that. Never. Whatever will Mrs. Flush say? They can't just go on as if we weren't here.
They are here. We ought to get used to it.
There's Will. Will!
Who's that then, Will?
I don't know.
Oh, she seems to know you rather well.
Thank God you're here. Did you hear what happened? Why weren't you in the lecture?
I was in a tutorial.
You missed quite the scene.
If she'd been shot out of a cannon, she would have done less damage. So, were you planning to introduce us?
We're friends from home.
This is Miss Moffat.
We know exactly who she is.
Can I just ask what you were thinking, miss? You know he might well never come back. I waited a year to hear that man speak.
What happened?
Miss Moffat thought she said our greatest psychiatrist stood on his amateur take on hysteria.
Blimey, Tess!
He advises the royal family. He was our guest, and he had the floor.
You spoke out?
Come on, you didn't really expect her to know any better, did you?
What on earth were you
Will,
thinking?
please.
You can't just start
We were
thinking
told to ask questions. I need to go home.
Don't go. Join us for lunch, y'all.
Some other time, Lloyd.
We couldn't we? Well, couldn't we?
For dinner? Poker, perhaps? You can strip Edwards of his assets.
What's left of them?
We should go. Ladies! No fraternizing in the street! We're gentlemen!
It was lovely to meet you.
Tess,
Come on now, don't go. Well,
Come on.
well. Wilt Bennett, friend of a blue stocking.
And Gert Night.
You didn't tell us.
you didn't ask.
Come on, fellas. Let's go.
Not you, Bennett. You're a lot like that way.
Edwards.
Sorry, Will.
Edwards.
Don't break our hearts.
I was only trying to make an educated opinion.
And was he asking for your opinion?
No!
Well, that's your answer then.
But I'm very sorry, ma'am.
Very sorry or very angry, Miss Moffat. In our first year, we were in a farmhouse in Hitchin, 20 miles from the city. That was considered a safe distance. We had 5 students, no books, no furniture. The girls were given lectures from anyone willing to risk their reputation. And yet we clung on and scrambled up. And now we're on the brink of acceptance. Soon I'll be standing in front of the Senate asking for women's right to graduate. And if they agree to a vote, and if we win, you could be one of the first. Miss Moffat, why are you here?
To learn.
Why?
Because I want to know about more than just myself.
What will you do with this wealth of knowledge?
Travel the world, chart the stars in the southern hemisphere.
Why bother getting an education? Why not just roam around Peru with the telescope?
Because I want to understand the world, not just see it.
The world. The world makes little sense to me. I've no reason to feel attached to it. I'm a woman. I cannot own it. I cannot vote for who rules it. I don't even have rights over the children I bring into it, yet slowly I am gaining the liberty to learn. And as I learn, I collect tiny pieces of knowledge. Pieces which together form a fragment of the world. And that piece is mine. The only thing a woman can own is knowledge. And for the first time, we have the opportunity to attain it. But it is fragile. And if we let them think for even a second that we are a threat, then we set ourselves back. Patience is vital. Patience and stealth. We must build our Trojan horse and infiltrate from the inside. Then, before they know it, we will match them grade for grade. And when we do, keep your voice soft, but your brain sharp. That is the superior weapon. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Degrees by degrees, Miss Moffat. You may go now. You have work to do. We both do.
I'm terribly sorry to bother you.
Quiet, if you please.
Yes?
I believe that's the only copy. May I borrow it? I'll give it straight back.
Quiet, if you please.
Sorry. Thanks.
Quiet, if you please.
So sorry, Miss Fox.
I'm just getting a...
Quiet!
Quiet. Dictionary. Found it. What?
Who is he?
I'm finished, Miss Bott.
I finished too.
But Miss Willbound has not. You'll have to wait.
Nothing.
May I come in? Very, cozy. Who's the perfume for?
No one. I just like it.
You've made it lovely in here.
Thanks.
A woman's touch. Does she have to stay?
Women may not be left unaccompanied with a male in their private quarters.
I'm hardly a threat.
I said no male.
He's one of my oldest friends.
Rules are rules.
Of course. Look, about what happened in the street. It was thoughtless of me.
I don't want to talk about
I
it.
didn't know what to say.
I don't want to talk about
All
it.
right, so let's not talk about it. That is a lovely blouse. Wherever did you get it?
It's your sister's.
Good buttons.
Well,
Look, I'm sorry. I was with my friends. It's not easy. If you step out of line, they won't let you back in.
you pretended you didn't know me, Will. I've known you most of my life.
It's different here. I can't afford to... I was worried about it. It's all very well you parading yourselves.
Parading? We're not trying to make a spectacle. We're just going to lectures.
But you didn't just go to a lecture. Okay, if you were at the Newnham Girls College, you'd be kicked out. They stay in and they study.
And they miss out.
They keep their reputations.
Don't
If
pay.
you knew what the fellas said about you, you wouldn't be seen out at all.
They can say what they like.
It's your reputation.
Don't patronize
Then
me.
don't be naive. I've been getting it in the neck. They barred me from the common room.
Try being a woman.
Try being responsible for a woman.
What?
Look, I promised your father, and I won't let you down, but I am building my career with these people. If they lose respect for me now...
This isn't about you.
Yes, it is, Tess. My exams are coming up, and all I can do is worry about you.
Will.
So what's the food like here? Is it ghastly?
Will, I want this.
Is it worse than your mother's?
It's important that I pass.
It's important I pass. Tess, I need to earn a living. Employers want firsts. Look, at home, there are plenty of fellows who'd give their right arm for you, but 3 years? They won't wait around. Your father had no idea what he was sending you into. If he had known...
He doesn't need to know.
It's all over the papers, Tess. All this business about the right to graduate, you can't hide away.
I'm not embarrassed to be here, Will. Far from it.
I know that, and I'm proud of you, but what happens after this? If you lose a chance of a decent match, what do you do?
Earn a living.
Doing what?
I want to be a scientist.
You're a woman.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I'd almost forgotten. So, what should we do then? Just give up?
Visitors must maintain a minimum distance of 30 inches.
I know that. Thank you, Miss Bott. Tess, I don't want you to regret this. The way they talk about you, I hate to hear it.
Come on, Will. Don't say anything. Have you spoken to Father? What have you said? Will!
I wrote a letter.
What?
This place.
Have you sent it?
If your reputation
Have
is damaged.
you sent it?
Not yet.
You really have no idea, do you?
Look, Tess. When I said yes to your father, we thought you were coming here to learn, quietly, but this, it's politics, it's dangerous, okay? Nobody's trying to stop you from learning, but you insist on walking into a fight. It's only a certificate, you don't need one, it won't help you. Mrs. Welch doesn't have a degree, and look at her. Why can't you just be content?
Will, just go.
What?
Just go, please. You can go now, Miss Bott.
Are you all right?
No, I'm not actually.
There we are then.
I'm fine. I'll be fine. Thank you. Damn this.
Tess, what are you doing?
What does it look like?
You're not going out, are you?
Out? Of course not. Yes, I am.
At this time of night, you can't. You'll be thrown out. Can I come?
No.
How do I look? Just dreadful. You need some powder and some proper cologne. Wait here. Tess,
Yes?
are you all right? I saw Will on the stairs.
Were you getting that cologne?
I had a letter from Father today.
Oh,
What's wrong?
nothing. Will, he just doesn't understand this. Any of it.
Of course not. He's a man. You know, the Messiah say, a big goat does not stop without reason.
Oh, well, that's tremendous. Thank you. I'll just grow a cassava and spear myself an antelope, shall I?
Come to Paris with me.
No.
Say yes.
It's Christmas. I can't be away.
Would your folks mind?
Yes.
What are you doing? Maybe you're coming to Paris. Paris what for? Because it's Christmas and it's Paris? I'll lend you some clothes so you don't have to wear that ghastly old gray thing. I'm not coming to Paris. Tess is coming.
No, I'm not.
So you can both get some proper cologne of your own. Now, Celia, Tess is going out.
Out! Yes, out. For what? Research. For chemistry.
Is it that boy from the library?
What boy from the library?
Tess met a boy in the library. They were passing notes.
He's not a boy. He's a gentleman. Hardly encouraging you out without a chaperone.
Here's your... Lord have mercy. Where are you going?
Quiet, Minnie. Tess is just leaving.
How do I get down?
Where?
Out the window. You don't.
You could tie sheets together.
What if they unravel?
You could die. You won't die if you use 2 sheets. Split the downward force in half the tension.
Only if the sum of the force is equal to the counterforce. Oh, Lord.
I could let you out through the kitchen, miss, if you'd rather.
Yes, thank you.
I'll leave an apple on the window ledge.
I won't be hungry.
No, miss. It's for you to pick it up when you return, so I know to lock the door behind you.
Have you done this before, Minnie?
Absolutely not, miss.
All right, I'm off.
What's his name?
I don't know. Where's he taking you? I don't know.
You're an adventurer. Go forth, Bodacia.
I'm hardly going to war. I met him in the library.
Follow me, miss. We'll have to move quietly if we're to get past the spot.
You'll regret it. She'll regret it. Shut up!
They must think that I was born yesterday.
Curses.
Good evening. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
Jesus.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you.
It's so dark. I was afraid.
Me too. I thought your old chaperone might be on the prowl. Listen. I am terribly sorry I asked you here. I've been paralyzed with guilt.
It's all right.
It's just a barn owl.
Tito Alba Alba?
So you're a Latin scholar.
No, I'm an astrophysicist.
Well, me too. Venus is bright tonight.
Striking, isn't she?
Yes, she is. Listen. I don't even know your name.
Tess Moffat.
Oh, Miss Moffat, it's a pleasure to meet you properly.
You too.
Ralph Mayhew, Esquire. Well, this is rather unconventional, isn't it? I probably should have asked you to a clarinet concert, not to some spooky orchard.
It is a bit.
Isn't it? Ooh. Look, please forgive me. I hope you don't mind. I thought I might read you something.
Oh, here?
Yes, but I'm not very literary, so it might be disastrous.
I doubt that.
It's a poem. But it's... Actually, maybe I shouldn't.
No, please do.
I really don't know.
Go on.
All right. It's a love poem.
Oh,
It's called A Lady Who Is Fair.
right.
Providi segil ad esta visione, e per merce netre vera sentenza, dico una donna di bella fagione, di quel meo cor gradir molto segenza, mi feduna ghirlanda donagione, verde franzuta con bella accoglienza.
Well,
That's not the end.
right.
Appresso mi trove per vestigione, camicchia du sordoso, a mia parvenza, allor di tanto amico mi franchece, dolcemente Priscilla abracier. That's the end.
Well, that was quite beautiful. Thank you. What does it mean?
Oh, I have no idea. I'm a scientist. Maybe next time I can show you an experiment.
I should like that.
Or I could write you a paper on Kepler.
How do you know I like Kepler?
Your book in the library?
So you knew I was an astronomer.
I was impressed.
You don't think it's unfeminine?
No. Anyone who can make heads or tails of Kepler deserves a medal on my book. I mean, I use my copies of doorstop. I think you being here, a lady studying, well, it's grand.
We don't hear that very often.
Miss Moffat, may I kiss your hand? You're getting cold. You mustn't stay out any longer.
Thank you for your unusual poem. May I keep it?
They say it's the most beautiful love poem ever written.
I wonder what Shakespeare would say to that.
He'd probably pinch it. Maybe you should keep it under your hat.
I'll do just that.
So, good night, Miss Moffat.
Good night. Wait, how will I know?
I'll leave you a sign. Look out for it. Good night, sweet mistress.
Good night.
So you were barred from another lecture, I
We
hear.
were turned away at the door.
Again? Well, this is becoming quite the page turner. You know, it makes me wonder if there's any point in teaching you at all, especially moral science. You're dismissed.
What?
Free to go.
Miss Blake, you can't just leave us.
And why not? The world hurdles forward. What's the point in the arts when technology evidently needs you? Go on, I'm wasting your time. Moral science and the classics. Literature, music, worthless. Nothing compared to science and mathematics. We philosophers and poets have nothing to offer you.
But it's not true, ma'am.
What? Why not?
We study reason and logic when we read Galileo and Copernicus.
But you're still arguing that science is the highest form of knowledge.
But what if it is, ma'am?
Go on.
Well, science improves our lives in practical ways, which the arts cannot.
Well put. Now, if that's really your opinion, get out.
Why?
Unless you can argue my position.
But what if I don't agree with it?
Well, a fine theorist can argue either side of the debate. Why might the arts be superior to natural science? Give me a contemporary thinker.
Arnold, ma'am.
Good God, Miss Addison, you've discovered the library.
Arnold said that science doesn't address the bigger questions. What does it mean to be human? What intellect is? What beauty is?
We can't advance as a nation if we live out of history books.
But literature asks us more. Science is elementary, what a body is, how it functions. Doesn't address what it means to be. What is truth? What is love?
Science is all about seeking truth, but in reality, not in fanciful ideas.
Love isn't fanciful.
It can be felt experience.
But it's not real, it's not tangible.
Lovers are tangible.
Miss Moffat.
Come on. If your lover had the pox, you'd rather a doctor treat him than an artist drown him with poetry.
How do you know what my lover wants?
Tessa's right, science can save lives.
And the arts can't.
But if your lover was dying, and there was nothing in the world but machinery, if there was nothing to elate him, if the world was barren of poetry and music, there'd be little reason to revive him. The arts are what make his life worth sustaining. Without them, there'd be little reason to revive him.
Well said, Miss Addison.
Thank you. I don't believe it entirely. I'm still going to be a doctor. But we're all missing the point here.
Miss Sullivan?
Great scientists, Copernicus, Galileo, they made their discoveries because they had imagination. They saw more than what was in front of them. They dreamed. And painters, great painters, they treated their art like a science. You know, Van Gogh did countless experiments with tone to work out the effects of darkness and light. They're Renaissance men, proper thinkers. And that's what progress needs. You know, the fellows out there building the chapel, they measured the timber so the wall can bear weight. But without all those great stories in the stained glass, then it will be no more than just a simple barn.
And who said that?
Ma'am?
Which philosopher?
No philosophers, just what I think.
And this is why I shall not be canceling my classes. The value of your lesson isn't knowledge. It is the fact that you are learning to think for yourselves. You are making progress, ladies. I'll tell you what, leave your books. I defy any of you to doubt in the merits of the arts when you've had a good look at the revolutionary work of Mr. Van Gogh.
Minnie, I left some purchases in the hall. Can you deal with them?
Yes, miss. What are they?
Afghan hounds, 2 of them. They're absolutely stunning, but they just don't do what they're told.
Miss, it's supposed to be no pets.
That's why you have to hide them.
Where? Under the bed?
Oh no, they're enormous. Now what have you done with Achilles?
I sold him.
Surely you're joking. Oh,
Excuse me. I'm here to see my sister.
Sir, if you could just, wait right there. Mrs. Rose,
A man in the building?
yes, a man in the building.
Who are you? What's going on? Oh Lord, there's a man in the building!
A man in the building. Ladies, make yourselves decent. May I help you?
I need to speak to Maeve.
Mr. Sullivan,
Look, just tell me where my sister is.
if you could just be patient for a moment.
No, I need to see her now.
Mr.
Maeve?
Sullivan, you are welcome at Girton, but whilst you are here, you must respect our rules. So please don't threaten us.
Billy? What are you doing here?
Maeve, you look different.
Thanks. You too.
Not surprising, it's been a long time.
How are you?
You know.
Mr. Sullivan,
Look, we can talk later. You gotta come with me.
What are you talking
You're
about?
coming with me. I'm taking you home.
I'm not going anywhere.
You are.
You've got no right to walk in here.
I've got every right. Don't make me drag you out of
that's enough. This is a ladies' college.
She's not a lady.
She's a member of this college, and while she's under my
You
roof,
gotta
she
come
is.
home.
I'm not coming home, Billy.
We need you.
But you can manage, you said.
Things are different now.
Don't, Billy.
What's going on?
It's her right to be here.
Here? This isn't her world. You're not one of them. Look at you.
Look, I took the examinations, and I worked hard.
Examinations?
I've got good marks.
They don't make no
But you just
difference.
listen to me
That up
for
there,
one- just
they're
for
way
1
off the
minute,
rest
Billy.
of us.
Mr. Sullivan, your mother and I made an agreement. Lady Beaumont provides with an allowance so that Maeve can study. It has worked perfectly well so far. She's an extraordinary student.
No good though, is it? Being extraordinary at books, and there's a babe and young'uns with no one to mother them.
What?
You heard.
What's happened to Mother?
Oh, now the
Billy,
concern.
where's Mother?
She's dead, Maeve.
What?
There was, I can't say, Maeve, not here.
She's dead.
I tried to send word, but I couldn't find anyone to write me a letter. I mean, just my coming here's lost my job. The big ships, they don't hang about, and the yards have their own law. The police don't set foot in them. I can't mess them about. I can't work and look after the girls. You gotta come home.
Is he suffering, Mom? I can't.
What? What do you mean you can't?
I can't go home.
But what about us?
This is my home.
What would you know?
We understand.
How could you understand? We don't have nothing. The girls won't survive, miss.
I can't go home, Billy.
You have to. Maeve. Maeve, tell her she has to come home. They're her sisters. Your sisters, Maeve. We won't survive.
May?
Listen,
I can't go back.
You have to. Tell her she has to, miss. You can't just... Is that it? You're just gonna... You're like he was.
I'm nothing like he was.
You're just like him. Dear God, Maeve, I can't even look at you.
I'm so sorry, ma'am. I didn't know.
You weren't to know.
Thank you for sending him away.
Miss Sullivan, I'm afraid you need to go to your room and pack your bags.
Ma'am?
Go to your room and pack.
You can't do that.
Mrs. Welsh, please don't be rash. You have brothers and sisters you're responsible for,
But I didn't bear them. I didn't choose them.
but they need a mother.
But this is who I am. You gave me this chance. You've shown me the world. I never knew what I wanted before I came here. And now I found it. I'm learning. I've learned. Don't take that away.
Mrs. Welsh,
I'd rather die.
please don't make this any more difficult than it needs to be.
It's because of where I'm from, isn't it? Because I'm not like them.
You know perfectly well that's
I
not true.
needed help. You only want respectable girls from respectable families, not slummers drudge like me.
Don't you dare
But
suggest
this is who I am, Mrs. Wells. I'm going to be a teacher, and I understand people. Please, this is my only chance.
Mrs. Welsh, can't we at least talk about this? Ladies, don't you have work to do? Miss Sullivan? I'm afraid you'll be leaving us in the morning.
What are you doing?
I'm sorry.
She's the brightest student here.
And the lives of young children are at stake.
They manage, they have a community.
And what would the papers say? A girl's education more important than children's lives?
It's not about profile.
We're a public establishment. Everything we do is about profile. You remember when you were a girl in Hitchin?
Yes, I do. You showed us that we have a choice.
Money gives you choice. Maeve doesn't have that.
So we'll pack her off to be a mother now. Yumi, what sort of message does that send out? It goes against everything that we are fighting for.
We are not fighting. We are not suffragists. And I trust you to keep them well and truly out of the building.
They're a strong ally.
They're radicals. And the girl's right to graduate hangs in the balance.
Maeve has no rights. And we don't even have the vote. If we had that when they were voting on the Crimea, you might not be a widow now.
I want the vote too. So much. But we cannot compromise. Any association with those women will finish us. This is a great loss. Not just for me, but for us too. I wish there was another way, but I have no choice. There will be no more talk of suffrage. Not in class. Not at all.
advice. Just check your light energies. Bennett, good detail. Very good. Edwards, I learned a great deal about metamorphic rocks. It's astonishing work. There's a strawberry time on your conclusion.
I went to Lyme Regis for research, sir.
It wasn't all science, sir. He took Maudie with him.
For the ride.
We're inseparable.
He asked to marry him, and she said yes.
Good man, Edwards.
She's quite something, sir.
She's a taller lady, sir, but she's glorious.
These wonders of the human mind. They're articulate, they're accurate, they're first class. But there's something missing.
Sir?
Spirit, panache.
Oh, come on, sir.
I'd love to be a poet, sir, but we're scientists, aren't we?
Agreed, but I'll give you a shilling if you can name a scientist who is not passionate about his discoveries. We must be hunters, explorers. Holmes, what excites you?
That'd be telling, sir.
Come on.
I'm a violinist.
And a blue little track.
I play with the chamber orchestra.
So, endless hours of practice, broken fingernails, neighbors in a fury. Why do you do it?
Well, on the track it's speed, practice, precision, but in the orchestra it's beyond that somehow. The tone we aim for has nothing to do with practice. It's more than just the sum of the sounds. It's like an opiate. Beethoven said music was beyond any wisdom or philosophy. It's like you're trying to get to something more.
Something more. Exactly. Lloyd,
I went to Matterport, sir, with the international team.
go on, tell us more.
So they asked us to pass when we got back.
You haven't answered my question.
All right. Well, we tried for the Persian Ridge, but there was an avalanche. So we went to the south face instead. 14,000 feet of sheer cliff face, sir. Rocks and glacial ice. 72-hour straight climb, and we did it without ropes. Before the summit, the fog was so thick, I had to find my way on my hands and knees. When we made it through the clouds, just you in the sky, made me believe in God. We lost a man, sir. But I'd do it again, no question.
Thank you, Lloyd. Edwards?
Maudie, sir, she's his conquest.
She's his life.
All right then. Edwards is off gallivanting on the sea with his antennae along the seafront. He admires the cliffs.
Cretaceous shock, sir.
The sunlight in your hair. He allows his arm to rub it against hers.
Steady on, sir.
It's new. It's thrilling. He feels something bubbling deep down.
Dutch courage, sir.
No, it's passion.
Sir!
Exhilaration. And yet, what have I got here? An essay that's as dry as old sack. Well, what I want is the lust for discovery you feel about Maudie in your essay. How does it feel?
Don't ask me that, sir. Ask Mayhew. He's got a girl.
Oh. So, what's it like? Mayhew.
Oh, come on.
Mayhew.
All right. It feels important and necessary.
Oi, oi!
Come on, we're not talking about that. All I'm saying is, I'm interested in everything.
And therefore, as we did Cupid painted blind.
All I'm saying is, when she talks, I just want to know. I can't explain it. She's vital.
Bennett, you're quiet today. What makes you happy?
This does, sir. This does, absolutely.
You are excellent students, gentlemen. But to change the world, you must harness the urge to question. Be hungry. Dig deeper. And it even might be a double first, Lloyd.
Oh, I don't think so, sir.
I want you to read this for tomorrow. Read and take note.
This isn't a second-year essay, surely.
Isn't it? There's something more.
This is
Isn't
more
it?
than science.
It means something to the writer. Go on now, get off here.
Sir,
Edwards,
whose essay is this?
Do we know him?
I don't think so.
Is he a Trinity fellow?
Trinity? No, no. Burton.
She
Good
was.
day, boys.
being brief, I only have one suggestion to put to you, that a student's mind may be bright enough to transcend their gender. I have here an essay provided by Professor Banks. In it, the student combines physics with the study of Kepler and the ancient texts to explain the existence of the Star of Bethlehem. For many years, St. Matthew's narrative has baffled scientists. He talks of a star brighter than any other in the sky, which rises in the east, moves towards Jerusalem, and changes course and guides the Magi as it heads towards Bethlehem. If I may quote you just a few words. There is no physical possibility of a star changing course. So what did the wise men see? Consider the possibility of an optical illusion. Just as a cart on the road ahead appears to move backwards when overtaken, when the Earth passes Jupiter that October at a rate of 12 to 1, onlookers at a specific longitude would have witnessed the planet seeming to double back on itself in retrograde motion. To the Magi standing at 34 degrees east in Jerusalem, Jupiter would have appeared to shift from its easterly course onto a new trajectory, northwest, towards Bethlehem. As for the mystery of its brightness, that October, Saturn and Jupiter aligned in Pisces, a once-in-a-millennia occurrence. The resplendent glow twice as bright as anything else in the heavens, and this had great theological significance. Jupiter is the Roman symbol of kings, Saturn, the symbol of Israel, and Pisces, the symbol of the Jews. There it was above them. Here is the King of Israel, King of the Jews, written in the stars.
She hasn't gone yet, has she?
We'd have seen her. Poor Maeve.
A remarkable mind in the making, and yet just this morning, I let another equally gifted student go, as family circumstances demanded it. We will not allow scholarship to sabotage home life, gentlemen, but where it can be taken up without compromise, the benefits will radiate from that student to all those who surround them. So giving our girls a better education won't only mean better nurses and teachers, but will brighten our world for our sons and daughters for generations to come. Gentlemen, I ask you to please consider a full membership vote.
I hope you win the vote.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations, our order. Think you're Lloyd and Bennett are on track for first next year.
Yes,
You'll be next in line for St. Sebastian, miracles like that.
they've turned themselves around.
You've turned them around, Banks.
I love my work.
Your results speak for themselves. We're just about a fortunate time. You see, we're looking to offer a new fellowship.
A fellowship?
Yes, indeed.
That's excellent news for Trinity.
Well,
Well, what?
really, Banks? For a double first scholar, you're a bit slow on the uptake.
Oh, you mean me?
Yes, you.
Well, I never expected. Thank you.
Well
Thank you so
deserved.
much.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Bloody hell! What will my wife
It
say?
is quite an honor. She ought to be grateful.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you all.
We should have a toast. Of course, it will mean attendance at various functions, drinks, dinners.
Oh, we like cold.
There will be superior accommodation, security, and tenure. You might even get a view of the garden.
What can I say? I'm delighted.
We can see that.
When would it start?
September, but the rooms can be freed up this term.
I need to reorganize my timetable.
You might like to think about dropping your external commitments.
It's not many hours, I assure you. Mrs. Welch is aware of my duties here.
Of course, but this is a full-time post.
I understand, but
You simply won't have time.
I made a commitment there. They're very talented students.
And it is your level of commitment that makes you ideal as a fellow.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I don't think you understand. You won't be able to continue teaching at Girton once you're a fellow of Trinity.
It is unsuitable.
But surely there's a way to...
There is no way. A fellow cannot be seen to fritter away his time in the pursuit of ladies' education.
Fritter away?
That's what I said.
What did I tell you?
Difficult this, Thomas.
It's unthinkable.
Please, be sensible.
You are a rather controversial choice, Banks.
Controversial? Bloody madness.
You wouldn't embarrass Mr. Anderson, would you? You put a lot on the line offering you this post, and we weren't all convinced.
Gentlemen, I need time to think.
What's there to think about? It's security for life, Banks.
I know, but they're halfway through the course.
You won't lose out by leaving Girton.
I'm sorry, that's simply not true.
It is just a hobby for them. They are not undergraduates.
They might be soon if the vote goes our way.
Our way.
If the vote goes into the favor of the women graduating, please, gentlemen, I need some time. I need to think.
Have you ever thought about what they might want in the future? They just don't know it yet. My wife has a life she wouldn't give up. We dine with 20 families. She runs the with fair. She takes the coffins down to Whitsun Parade. These girls will never be wives, and they'll sacrifice all of that for what? They may want to be scientists. They won't be, so where does that leave them? I wouldn't want it for my daughter, Banks. Not a chance. It's irresponsible.
Banks, thank you for your time.
Jonathan, please.
You asked if we could perform a French folk dance. You never said it was the can-can.
So did she tell you the news?
What news? Is there news?
We heard yesterday.
What? The vote?
Yes,
We didn't get it.
we did. We got it. It's hard to believe, but we did. You should have heard her speak.
What'd she say?
Oh, never mind that. The Senate didn't know what to do with themselves. They agreed that your right to graduate is at least a vote-worthy issue, though only university members can vote.
So, none of us? What?
No women at all. And no undergraduates, so write to everyone you know. Times are changing, ladies.
Imagine, maybe one day we'll even have a voice.
And the most remarkable woman is coming to Cambridge to speak. Millicent Fawcett?
Suffragist? The one from the papers?
Yes. There's to be a rally on Saturday. It'll be quite the occasion.
We can organize support.
I think it's best we not publicize it too much. I wouldn't want to trouble Mrs. Welsh with it.
But she's the one who put all the work in.
Suffrage is political. We have to be careful.
We understand.
Thank you. I'll leave you to it, Miss Bott.
Oh, Miss Bott, he brought you a present from Paris. For me? Well, most kind. What is this? Crustaceans? Escargot. They're Parisian. That is hardly a recommendation. Be gone with you. I'm sure Mr. Bennett has no interest in being entertained by the whole pack of us. Are you all right? No. I told you, nothing good comes out of France. You'll have to come with me to get that scene to you. I'll help. No male will unaccompanied with a female. Don't worry, Miss Bott. Will, don't you even think about touching her. I thought you understood the laws of gravity. Miss Addison, don't even think about it. Well, I'll be off then.
Thanks, Caro.
Hello. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
So,
So,
Christmas was quiet. Is this the French fashion?
You don't have to come here. We're hardly respectable company.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. It's a telescope.
Oh,
Well, open it then.
did you wrap this yourself?
No, the lady in the shop did it for me.
Oh, Willie, you shouldn't have. Oh, you can't afford this.
Well, Banks thinks you're going somewhere in astronomy, so...
How do you know? Where are you going?
See, it's Mare. You're lucky, having an orchard here. Read your essay about the star. We all did. But your maths is out. Jupiter's elliptical orbit is inclined, even though the Cavendish equivalent can throw you up by a mile, or, well, 46 million miles of tests. I think I might have fallen in love with you.
Oh, I see.
Well, I'll try and fall out again.
Will,
It's hardly convenient, is it?
no.
What'd you do for Christmas lunch?
Lunch? We went out, some fancy restaurant.
You went out.
It was different.
My mother burnt the turkey.
She always burns the turkey. Will, last term, one afternoon in the library, there was a scientist. He wrote me a note, a poem, and
Oh, and he's... you two are...
it looks that way.
I didn't know. Well, there we are then. Your father missed you.
How is he?
Fine.
You didn't say anything about the trouble we're in or the graduation vote?
I told him you were working hard.
Thank you.
He ate too much, and then Miss Pope came around.
Miss Pope?
She ate too much.
Will.
I know, but she's due to inheritance. She's my age, so there's a match.
But she's...
I know. Has this scientist told you his intentions?
He cares for me a great deal.
Do you trust him?
Yes, I think so.
What's his name? Actually, don't tell me. I don't want to know. Your father will want to meet him.
Yes, if it comes to that. I'm sorry, are you alright? Will you visit again soon?
Well, I have to study end of year. You know how it is. But if you need me, you know where I am.
Tess Moffat, I hear you're responsible for Miss Wilburn's accident.
I was only...
What were you thinking?
Ma'am.
The can-can?
It's a French folk dance.
I know full well what sort of folk dance like that. You will forfeit your excursion rights for this weekend.
Ma'am.
Sir, you know the rules.
Don't worry, ma'am. There's no danger of anything untoward. We're just old friends. You excuse me.
No, Will!
Calculus, now.
Yes, ma'am. It's like being on top of the world!
Look, where's Kins? And Gurton?
And Orion up there.
You didn't even look.
I don't need to, I know where it is.
All right, what else is up there? Don't look up.
Aries in the west,
Perseus.
Pleiades, the Seven Sisters.
You know, they say Orion fell so desperately in love with them that he chased them right across the world. So Zeus turned them into stars to keep them safe. All but the youngest, Merope. She'd fallen in love with a human.
What happened to her?
I think they're still away, the two of them. He took her somewhere where no one could find them. That's why they thought there were only 6 stars in the Pleiades.
Until they invented telescopes.
Tess, it's good to see you. You are brave.
I'm an outlaw. Why would he want to hide her away?
To keep her safe. I went to the observatory this afternoon. I looked for the 7th star, but I couldn't see her. There was a smudge in the lens, and my mind was elsewhere.
Why?
Just because.
That wasn't a smudge. It's Andromeda.
It was a smudge. Are you sure?
If you're looking at the W of Cassiopeia, the 2 N stars point directly at it. It just looks like a smudge because it's so distant. It's so odd what we see now. That's how it was 2 million years ago. That light started its journey to us before humans had even arrived on Earth.
We're like time travelers. I wonder what it looks like now.
We'll never know.
Maybe there'll be another pair of stargazers in 2 million years, staring at Andromeda, wondering the same thing.
In 2 million years, I wonder what else they'll be thinking.
That he wouldn't swap this for anything. There's no one like you, Tess Moffat.
No one but me would be this daft. This is a bad idea. A bad idea.
It's not.
She'll find us out. She'll find us out, I tell you. And when she does, she'll lead in.
Mr. Peck, I didn't realize you had a twin brother. Don't you have work to do?
Ma'am, bloody hell.
Carolyn, what exactly do you think you're doing? Go to your room. What's that? Hand it over. You know this sort of blunder has no place here. Did Miss Blake give you this?
Ma'am,
Did she?
she only suggested we might
She
be
did,
interested.
didn't she?
She told us not to tell. I mean, I wanted to go. She won't get in trouble, will she?
Mrs. Welsh, I was hoping to catch you.
Go to your room, Carolyn.
Is everything all right?
What's this? Miss Blake? You know my stance on this.
Look, I don't see the harm in inviting their girls to listen.
If we get blown off course now,
I don't believe this. We've already told them that they can't speak and now they can't listen.
their right to graduate hangs in the balance.
And what about their right to vote for who runs the country? For their future? Surely that is more important.
No, it is not.
You can't possibly mean that. It is just a meeting, Mrs. Welsh, please. Be reasonable.
Miss Blake, you're going to have to make a decision.
Please. Please don't ask me to choose. My whole life is here.
What are you doing out here?
Daydreaming.
It's the middle of the night. Listen, have you finished your Cuvier notes? Carol thinks we need to learn the fossil studies. Have you read them?
No, give it back. It's impossible. Nothing rhymes with orchard.
Pilchard.
What?
Pilchard rhymes with orchard. Sort of. Use that.
You can't write a love poem about Pilchard.
You could. A pilchard caught swimming off Dover.
All right, I'll do Cuvier later.
The test tomorrow.
I can't concentrate.
Just think about something else. Cuvier. How is botany? Tess?
I'm thinking about Cuvier.
Tess, don't.
Just leave me be.
You can't risk another failure.
I haven't failed anything.
Carolyn told me.
What?
About botany.
She's got no business.
I said I'd help
I
you.
don't want your help.
You need it.
I don't. If I do, I'll ask for it.
You're too proud, Tess.
You're just jealous.
What?
Of what I've got with Ralph.
I've worked hard to get here. I'm not about to just throw it away.
I'm not throwing it away.
He'll ruin your education.
He is an education.
He's not.
I'm just not interested in Cuvier. And today, 3 hours on the science of war. I don't see the point.
It means we won't make the same mistakes again.
Who?
Us, people.
No, Celia, men. It means men won't make the same mistakes again. The only impact we women ever had on the war was when Brundle's wife knitted him in New Jersey, and the troops said, "That looks warm." What do you call that, Lord Cardigan? We don't get to make decisions.
We do.
Like what?
Like family. Don't you want to teach your children to be good, responsible people?
Oh, that's exactly what we need. Another lot of good, responsible, quiet women, while our sons stand up in Parliament.
And you're going to change that how? By giving up.
We can't compete
We can't even vote. And we'll never get the vote if you sit under an apple tree all night.
At least in an orchard, I know where I am.
What happened to you, Tess? You used to want this so much. He's put doubts in your head, hasn't he?
What?
He doesn't approve.
You don't know him. He's not like the others.
They hate us being here.
He believes in this. Maybe more than I do. It's me, Celia. I don't know what I want anymore.
If he likes you, then it's because of your mind. We're thinkers, scientists.
Outcasts. We're blue stockings, Celia. Untouchables. If I mess this up with Ralph, then no one else will have me. We're not good Christian women anymore. We're not meek and mild. We're dissenters. No one will have us. What if I want to be a mother? It's all very well for you.
What's that supposed to be?
You've never had a... You only want...
I only want what? You really have no idea, do you?
Come on.
You should watch yourself, Tess. I've never had a Ralph. I want that too, almost more than anything. But being here, it's not until it's taken away from you that you understand. They sent me home. Nervous exhaustion. I worked through till dawn every night and went straight to prayers. I had to fight to come back. What would I have done if they said no? Don't throw this away. Not when it's only just started.
Hello, ladies. Gentlemen, I was just about to close.
Oh, we can wait.
Hello, ladies. Is that for a dress for Newmarket? Not unless I'm to troop around the paddock and 40 yards of calico.
We haven't seen you around much.
I was hoping we'd see you more often.
Well, we mostly take lectures at college now.
Moxie had us banned.
We know. We heard.
Will it take paint, the calico?
What sort of paint?
Just something for lettering, emulsion.
It'll take paint.
You think a band is going to help? Do you really intend to fight this?
Ladies, fellas, what are you doing here?
I've seen what's on display.
Holmes, a package arrived from Paris this morning.
Good, thank you. And you approve?
Silk brocade with double stitching? Absolutely.
Let's have a look. Ladies, what do you think?
Maison worth they're all the rage in Champs-Élysées.
Thank you, ma'am. Fellas, I'll see you back at college.
You don't really think you're going to win, do you?
We might do.
But, ladies, you can't vote.
Nor can you.
No, but the graduates can't, so for this little point to your motion.
That's enough, Lloyd.
That'll be
Carolyn, let's go.
What would you do with a degree anyway? Run the country? Be an engineer? Develop a cure for smallpox?
Maybe. I'm gonna be a doctor.
And who will you doctor, miss? Me? Him? No? Who?
Just because you don't believe a woman
Listen! I was at school at 5. At 7 I knew Plato. At 12, hand me a cadaver and I'll tell you with every last nerve in it. You think you can compete? You think some company once a week governess is enough? Do you? Some tattered notes from your brother? Some village dunce school for girls? You think that joke of an education gives you the right to set foot here? At Cambridge? Cambridge, for God's sake! This isn't some country hole second-rate pauper's college. We're not average men here. We're the future, the leaders, the establishment. We don't rest, we don't sleep, we don't give up, we don't come second. We learn. It's our right, our blood, and we stop at nothing. These buildings, they make us men. 800 years we studied here. We built this nation. We made this country. Darwin, Milton, Shadwell, Marlowe, Walpole, Newton, Cromwell, Pitt. And you what? Waltz in with your bonnets of pretension and preposterous self-belief and think you have the right to set foot here in these walls? You'd be on a level with us all because you can heat a test tube on a burner? You know what they should do with you? They should put you away. You're mad. You're unnatural. You don't have an ounce of womanhood in your body. You won't be mothers and you won't be wives. No normal woman would want that. You're a joke. All of you. Doctor, for God's sake.
I know the human body as well as any man.
Put me down if any man will let you touch his body unless he's paying you like a common whore.
That was harsh, Lloyd.
You're gonna lose anyway. You might as well get used to it. If you be so kind, we're looking for a pair of stockings. Just one pair. Blue stockings.
Get out.
What?
Get out of my shop.
Well, I'm sure my father will be disappointed to know that one of his establishments is being lorded over by a blue stockings porter. What with the number of bids for leases going up and all?
Fine. Here, a pair of blue stockings. Take them.
Thanks. Keep the change.
I'm so late. I'm sorry. Flat tire.
Confounded by your own laws of motion.
Yes, thank you.
I haven't gotten tea yet.
That's all right. Anyway, why don't we just... Look, we're in trouble.
What's going on?
The opposition are gathering strength.
So are we.
But not on this scale. They've laid on extra trains. Every hotel in 30 miles has been booked out. We won't stand a chance.
We have a good number of supporters.
I know, but,
There must be a way.
well, I don't know it.
Is there no one you can talk to?
I'm powerless. I'm a traitor.
There has to be something. Thomas, this is all we have. I arrived at Girton when I was 18 and I've never left. I'll never be a mother to be a woman and no. At least you have a family. You have Rose and the girls and you have Trinity.
Trinity sacked me.
What? Thomas, I don't believe it.
When they found out that I was involved with the vote, they withdrew the offer, filled my old position with one of my own students, and now my wife won't even look at me since we can't even afford a fish on Friday.
Why didn't you tell me?
I'm sorry, it just didn't seem real.
So we focus on this. Come on, Thomas.
And if we lose,
The suffragists are making a stand in Market Square. They're gathering supporters for voting day.
don't bring them into this.
They're a powerful ally.
Elizabeth won't allow it.
Elizabeth won't know.
If you go behind her back, you could be sidelined or even dismissed.
I couldn't. I resign. Thomas, I'm leaving.
Eleanor,
I'm sorry. She couldn't see past the campaigning.
you can't leave, Eleanor. What will you do? Where will you
I
go?
don't know. Girton is all I have.
Go and see her right now. Go and tell her you've changed your mind.
It's too late. She forced my hand. Will it be the usual 3-2, sir?
I think perhaps just tea. Thank you.
Nothing else? Right you are then. I'll see what I can get you two on the house.
I heard what you were saying about the vote and ladies' rights.
See, a kindred spirit.
You should be ashamed of yourself. Have you no sense of propriety or womanly feeling? Come on, Frank, we're leaving. I do hope you lose.
Bennett, what brings you here?
Bennett's here.
I'm looking for Ralph Mayhew.
You want in? We're about to kick off.
There's Ralph Mayhew here?
Mayhew, visitor.
Hey, do you want to join us? Pick 3 cards. Here you are.
Oh, right. Thanks.
You're not a Trinity fellow, are you? You're in Banks' natural science class.
That's right.
Can I get you a brandy?
I'd better not.
He better not.
Oh, come on, just a snap.
If you insist.
Edwards, these are your cards.
Why can't I pick for myself?
So what can I do for you?
I wanted to talk to you about, I have a friend, you know her well. I think she's up at Girton College.
And the losing suit is spades.
Hold that thought. We'll talk afterwards. Have you played before?
No.
Well, simple enough. Spades you lose, pull a king you win. Are you ready?
I'll draw first. Clubs, 10.
Hearts, 4.
Diamonds, 6.
Clubs, 3.
Spades.
Drink.
Come on, Edwards, all of it down the hatch.
Ah!
Woo! All right, Lloyd, you draw.
Diamonds, 8.
Clubs, jack.
Hearts, 3.
Jesus, spades.
Don't be ridiculous. Come on, come on.
It's still half empty.
Come on. Well, why don't you start?
All right. Diamonds, queen.
Diamonds, 6.
Edwards? Edwards?
He's got spades again. I can't
Edwards!
believe it.
Come on.
Someone else go, please.
Come on, Edward, show us your card.
6 of spades.
Hero, pitch the bottle.
That's not in the rules.
He made the rules.
I'm
Come on,
completely
Edward.
skewered.
The ball or sock?
I'm almost dead.
Or sock? Ball or sock? Ball or sock? Ball or sock?
Like a rose of summer left blooming alone. All her lovely companions are faded and gone. No flower of her kindred, no rosebud is nigh to reflect back her blushes and give sigh for sigh.
All right, come on, we still haven't finished. Club 6.
Hearts, king. And look at that. I win.
King of hearts.
King of Hearts, you're not too far off that, Ralph.
You're a changed man, I tell you. I've been blessed by Venus.
Bacchus.
Hug her off, Edward.
Bug her off, Edward.
So who is she?
I'm serious.
May's gonna make a speech.
Ooh, speech,
No, I'm not.
speech, make a speech.
Speech.
Fellas, gentlemen, I'm in love.
Oh, that'll be a hot time. We'll go down tonight, my baby.
I'm serious. This is real. I hardly know what to do with myself. I can't eat, I can't sleep.
You can drink, though.
Indeed I can.
Get up there.
Gentlemen, I hope one day you shall all be as happy as I am. She is glorious. And you'll never believe it. She's not just a pretty face either. Although, fellas, you should see her face. No. She is a wit. A blue stocking.
Ooh.
Must be mad.
Oh, Ralph, you're asking for trouble.
Listen, you can think what you like. I don't care. I love her.
He's in love.
And I'll prove it to you. Look at this.
Bloody
Look.
hell.
He's not kidding.
Where'd you get it?
Let me see. Sweet Jesus, Robert. That's a Caprice Emerald. Colombian look. Dark carbon.
I had to find half on to pay for it, but look at it. Perfection.
Let's ask her.
You gotta ask her father first, haven't I? I've not met him yet.
Always the gent.
Thank you, sir. Friends, let us raise our glasses. I should like to christen this term the Newnham Dawn.
Newnham Dawn. She's a Newnham girl.
Yes, she is.
What's her name?
Eliza. She's
So-
everything.
What happened to Tess?
The test was wonderful. Wonderful.
No more of the Gurgit track.
I'll drink to that. No more of the gurt and grind.
No more. Just the Newnham ladies, blue stockings and all.
Yeah.
You got a girl, Will?
Me? No. Haven't.
Well, you don't look so well. You're not a bread drinker?
Not really.
Let's get you outside. You all right, sir? You want to walk home?
No. I was looking out for Tess. I promised her father.
Oh, Christ. Tess? I didn't know you knew her.
You haven't told her yet, have you?
Look,
Have you?
no. Look, my father's expectations, plans for me, and you can't argue with the man. Girton is, well, it's political. I tried to broach it with him, but he was adamant. You know what it's like.
No, I don't know what it's like. Jesus, Newnham? How is that any different? It is a ladies' college just like
But
Girton.
it's not radical. It's respectable. They're not involved with all this stuff. Graduation rights. Listen, I'm a scientist. I wasn't cut out to be a politician. I didn't want this, and I didn't choose it. You see her. We wish her well.
Tess, what are you doing in the orchard? It's the middle of the night. Won't you get in trouble?
Only if Miss Bot finds me. Here, I've got cocoa from Paris. Do you want some?
Thank you. Tess,
I was revising.
I didn't say anything.
Well, I can take care of myself.
I know. I do trust you. I just don't trust a man you met in the street.
We met in the library.
Of course, how could I forget?
You offered to talk to him. If you talked to him, you'd understand. You have lectures with him. It'd hardly be a hassle, but you refused.
I didn't refuse.
So go.
I have. I've talked to him.
What? Will, why did you say?
I've been trying. You wouldn't let me get a word in.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tess, listen.
When? When did you talk to him?
Tonight.
How is he?
Tess.
What did he say? Did he ask to meet father? Come on. What did he say?
Tess, I'm sorry. He's not suitable. He's not right for you.
He's not right for me?
Listen.
You're judging him based on what? His expansive mind? His predicated first? Are you serious? This is a joke. You set this up. Celia put you up to this because she doesn't approve.
Tess!
What?
I'm serious. Please, just listen to me.
No, Will, no. You always do this, you and father. I want to study. You try and stop me. I fall in love. You try and stop me. Why won't you just let me be me? This is what I want.
Someone else.
Why is that so hard for you?
Tess! There is someone else.
What?
Another girl.
You're lying. You're making this up.
I'm not. I'm sorry.
You don't approve, so you're making this up. I've got to go inside.
Tess.
Let me go in.
I heard him say.
I haven't finished my work.
I saw
haven't finished my work.
I saw the ring! I saw it. I'm sorry.
Tess! What's going on, Tess? Miss Bob's on the prowl. You better shift yourself quick.
No, I don't want to leave her. Tess,
It's all right. I'll take her in, quick.
thank you. Tess, I'm sorry.
What happened? What happened?
I've got to go inside. I've got to pack.
Pack! Tess!
I can't stay here. I can't be here. I have to go.
Tess, listen, I know I'm the last person you want to speak to, but don't do this. Not now.
I can't do it. I can't be here. I can't be here.
Not now. Not while we worked so hard. Please, stop it. Stop it. We worked so hard. Don't do this. Talk to me.
There was a girl at home, lived at the parsonage, Annabelle. She'd spend a whole afternoon sewing a ribbon into a bonnet, and she'd be content. Why wasn't that enough for me, Celia? You know, I'd climb the roof of Will's classroom just to listen. Once I lost my footing and they found me hanging by my underskirt, but I wouldn't let go of my notebook. I should have fallen and cracked my skull right then and there. I'd have been better off. But no, I was stubborn. Forfeit any hope of a reputation, of a good match. wreck mother's nerves with worry, all for this, to be here. And then I meet a boy, a poet, in a library, and I fall for him like a rock. I read Keats and hear his voice. I look at Vermeer, and there he is in oils, and I love him with every thought and bone and sinew. And then he buys a ring, but it's not for me. And now, what am I now? He's carved out my heart, Celia. What do I do?
You carry on.
I can't. I've nothing left.
That girl on the roof. What would she say to that? If she knew that when you were grown, you'd be standing here, now, ready to go home? You owe her more than that. We might graduate, Tess. Can't you see? We'd be the first. Thank God we're not like Annabelle. We're not passengers. People like us aren't buffeted by the wind. We change its course. We are the luckiest women alive. And you're ready to pack and go home. You do what you have to, but if you go home now, you may as well have cracked your skull, because that little girl would never forgive you. And nor would I. Come on. Tess?
Morning.
Good morning.
I trust you're ready.
I hope you're not about to waste our time.
No, sir.
Wilburn, Addison, Moffat. Yes?
That is correct.
Miss Wilburn. I've read your papers, all 800 pages of them. You suggest here that a student in Zurich is legitimately challenging Galileo?
The man's 17.
You read his thesis?
All of it, sir.
You think Galileo got it wrong?
Sir, he doesn't account for the constant speed of light. He assumed it was affected by where you are and how fast you're moving.
Now this Einstein has his sights set on Newton, we hear.
I think he might be right to do so, sir.
Your evidence?
Take the rotation of Mercury. The precession of the perihelion deviates from Newton's predictions.
Only slightly.
By 38 arc-seconds per tropic century.
That's measurable.
Absolutely, but it's enough to disprove a law. I think Mr. Einstein may be quite ahead of his time.
Well, we shall see.
Miss Addison, maritime science. You propose against the common understanding that icebergs don't always drift with prevailing wind.
Sir, there's often a drift angle of 20 to 40 degrees to the right of the wind current.
And you know this how?
I studied the charts from the Fram.
And if the iceberg were to rotate, how would you account for that?
The only accurate way is to balance the frictional effects with the known Coriolis force. So they
On
rotate.
an orbital path, indeed. And you could balance this yourself?
Yes, sir.
And how?
By getting a boat and going out there, into the Atlantic.
This research is expensive. Could you justify it?
Absolutely. The safety of Atlantic crossings might depend on it.
Miss Moffat, the classification of stars. You know, the Draper catalog is generally regarded as groundbreaking.
It is, sir, without a doubt, but I believe it could be improved. How so? By subdividing the stars according to temperature.
You want to measure the temperature of a star?
Yes, sir. And how would you propose to do that? By working out the ionization of the photosphere. But you don't have the telescopic equipment. I wouldn't rely on telescopes, sir. If you split a star's light emissions on a diffraction grating, you can subdivide the photons onto a spectrum and analyze the absorption lines.
Which would tell you what?
Which ions are present in which chemical element, giving you the chemical composition of the photosphere and therefore the temperature. Tell me.
You completed practical study?
Not yet, sir.
Why not?
To do so, I'd need to be in the southern hemisphere.
Evolutionary theory. You cover the mark here, but of what of his opponents?
His opponents?
Cuvier?
How does Cuvier critique the theory of spontaneous generation? What did he say about fossil records? He noticed that sometimes new fossils appear as if out of nowhere.
For instance?
if a natural disaster wipes out a species, other organisms move in to replace them.
For example,
In volcanic winter, there's increased sulfates in the soil, making it more fertile.
Could you be more specific?
Ferns? Bacteria.
name the arthropods in Cuvier's study.
I don't remember.
I'm sorry.
I don't remember.
Tell me, where did Cuvier conduct his survey?
I think Spain? No, France. France.
And the name of the process?
Stratigraphy.
What type of stratigraphy?
Geostratigraphy.
Biostratigraphy.
With whom did Cuvier complete his study?
I'm sorry?
I just need the name of the scientist, Miss Moffat. The scientist and the year, please.
I'm sorry, I don't remember, I don't know.
Miss Wilbaum, you're very thorough. I suggest you learn to be more succinct. You passed. Well done.
Miss Addison, your self-assurance doesn't become you, yet there is warrant enough here to grant a pass. Congratulations.
Miss Moffat, these are quite remarkable. I am impressed. A pass requires excellence across the board. Without exception, I'm afraid to fail.
Do persevere with astronomy in your own time, won't you? You have quite a talent. Miss Welsh, ladies, thank you very much.
What'll I do?
You'll go home.
She can't go home.
Home has its merits. You can go for long walks, read, see friends, spend time with family, recover your health. Try to put Girton out of your mind.
I can't.
But you must. Then, when your health is recovered, you will pack your bag, get on the train, and make sure you're not late for the start of term in September.
What? But Mrs. Welsh.
Occasionally, just occasionally, it's all right to make an exception to a rule. But don't think you're getting off lightly. You will be resitting.
Of course, ma'am. I won't let you down, I promise.
Tess! It's voting day! Voting day! It's voting day!
Yet one can't help but hope. So let's put our faith in the voters and pray.
I hate this waiting. I hate it.
We've always had to wait. We waited 800 years for a college. I think, in the scheme of things, another half an hour won't hurt.
They're voting right now. This very moment, a man is putting a cross in a box. A man who's never met us.
He's there, and we're here.
When I lived in Burundi,
Here we go.
when I lived in Burundi, the villagers chose their chief by putting stones in a pot. I had a stone. We all lived there, so we all had stones. In Burundi. I'm just saying.
Will! Is there news?
I don't know, ma'am, but I think the gate should be shut.
What are you talking about?
People are rather up in arms.
I'm sure it's just some overzealous students.
It's not. With respect, ma'am. There's men on the streets, trainloads of them.
I suppose we could take our festivities inside, although it'd really be a
You're
shame.
not listening, ma'am. It is bedlam out there.
Minnie, fetch my coat.
Yes, ma'am.
It's no business for a lady.
If it's anyone's business, it's mine. Now, please.
Elizabeth, let me go.
No, you hold the fort. I'll go.
Miss Welsh, I beg you, it's not safe.
Don't be absurd.
What's happening?
It's chaos, sir. They've broken windows, pulled down the railings and theater hoardings from Queens, and set them on fire in the square. Police can't get anywhere near them, and they're heading this way.
Lord knows what they will do when they get here.
It's too dangerous. You shall get out of here now. Just go. Out the back way. Don't, for God's sake, go anywhere near them.
This is preposterous. I've worked my entire life for this day. I refuse to have it compromised by some petulant juveniles. They have no right.
Not you. Please, don't let her go, sir.
Don't tell me what to do. I will speak to them.
You don't understand. They've made an effigy, ma'am. A woman on a bicycle, a plaque around its neck. They strung it up, paraded it like Guy Fawkes. A woman in blue stockings. And when they got to the square, they doused it in oil and burned it. Stood and cheered and watched it burn.
Elizabeth!
Anyone voting yes has been sought out, chasing them down, throwing rocks, firecrackers, anything they can get their hands on. They're out of control now. There's thousands of them in the streets.
That's enough. Enough! Me, I'll fetch my own coat. They won't make a mockery of us. I'll be damned if they do.
Elizabeth!
Are you all right?
No, you.
Not really.
Well then. You better take the girls out of here now. Let me talk to them now. Fellas, please, just go home.
What the hell are you doing here?
I said go home. You shouldn't be here.
You shouldn't be here! You're a wonderful, are you? Like, whose side are you on? Windows are against us! Whose side are you on?
I'd be ashamed to be on yours.
Dear God! What have you done? How dare you? How dare you come in here like this? 30 years we slaved for this day. And you should be ashamed. It's a sin. You have no thought, no dignity, no respect. It's not your livelihood. You've sacrificed nothing. Nothing. And you're barbarians. Barbarians. Get out. Get out. All of you. Out. Mr. Peck, is there any news? Mr. Peck, is there any news?
I'm sorry, ma'am. We lost.
We lost.
Yes, we lost.
Elizabeth.
We lost.
So what'll you do now?
What?
What'll you do now? You girls, you won't stay, will you? If you can't graduate, what's the point?
Edwards.
No one wanted this. Not for it to get out of hand. Look at this place, it's a feat. Places like this don't happen without blood and sweat. We built this country on revolution, didn't we? This country wasn't built by conformists. I'm afraid I can't support your campaign. The damages would outweigh any benefits for the ladies. But by God, I respect you. And I won't see you dishonored. Ladies, I'm so sorry for your loss.
I didn't mean to be rude, really. You should stay if you want to. It's just, if your whole course, this place isn't recognized, what do you do?
Hess? What will you do?
We'll carry on. We'll carry on.
Good, good. Thank God for that.
choose between love and knowledge. I was asked to choose, but I couldn't choose. Not alone. Now I know I could never choose love. Not over this. Learning, life. I'd never be happy. I want to go to the Andes and chart the Southern Cross. I'd be a terrible wife.
Yes.
Please. I can't love again. Not wholly. Not yet. My heart hurts still, and it's fragile, and I'm scared, but in time, I hope.
I'll wait. I'm not going anywhere. Not without you.
I'm going to Peru.
And I'm getting on a train, but I'll be back in September. Will you?
Yes, I'll be here in September. I'm not going anywhere.
Good. Good.
The Girton girls continued to match their male peers grade for grade. Eventually, the Senate succumbed to pressure, and Cambridge ordered women to retrograde.
It was 50 years later, in 1948.